I look out over the glowing neon rooftops that litter the city below. My mind races as I try to remember the past, but I am stuck in the future. It has been 3 centuries since the end of the world, yet it seems as if nothing has changed in Houston and Austin. These cities, once separate, are now one, a mega city. The city of the past's future. That's what they call it now. Me? I used to call it home. But like I said, that was a long time ago. I don't know how I got here, to this place, to this time. Why won't they tell me what happened? It's one of the many mysteries I must uncover. I am a detective after all, the best, or at least I was. What does this future, this post-World War III world, want from an old detective from 3 centuries ago? And why won't they tell me how I got here? Nothing makes sense. The world I look out upon reminds me of a Philip K. Dick novel, a Blade Runner-style cityscape. Only this isn't science fiction. I see it with my own eyes as I write this. It's a dark cyberpunk reality I cannot escape, no matter how hard I close my eyes. Please just let me go home. I do not belong here. I scrawl the words into my old leather journal, the only piece of my past, of my home, that remains with me in this foreign future. Ah, there you are, detective. I've been looking for you everywhere. A soft female voice reaches my ears from behind me. I recognize it, yet it feels unfamiliar. I turn toward the sound, and my gaze meets piercing green eyes, long black hair, and a tall figure clad in a black leather trench coat and a black cowboy hat. An old friend, in a future I will never recognize. I know her. Her features are familiar, yet my connection to her is clouded, just out of reach. Forgive me, ma'am, but who are you again? I ask, rising to meet her height. She gives me a small smile as she approaches. You really don't remember, do you? Her voice is calm, soothing. I feel like I know you, but so much is different. I am your partner, detective. I am Detective Kate McCannon. Her name rings in my head like a timeless bell. I have seen this woman before. In 1985, a hospital nurse running down the hall to save a burn victim. In 2001, a reporter on the day we shall never forget. In 2021, a girl I passed on the street. And in 2030, a missing persons report that crossed my desk. Before an event I can't remember. An event that somehow led me here. Yet each time I saw her, she hadn't aged a day. Not once. How? I whisper, my mind swimming in confusion. She doesn't answer. Instead, she smiles. I knew you'd remember me, John. I stiffen at the sound of my name. I never introduced myself to this woman, the one who has lingered in my shadow, appearing and disappearing at will. How do you know my name? The same way you know mine, John. I read your file on my desk. She walks toward the edge of the rooftop, neon light reflecting off the rain-slicked pavement. Beautiful city, isn't it, John? I open my mouth, but the question I try to ask, who are you really, dies in my throat. The wind stirs, pulling strands of her black velvet hair across her face. Fog from the distant Gulf creeps into the city below, swallowing the streets in a haze of neon and shadow. Raindrops drift between us, catching the light like falling stars. And I realize she is not bound by time as I am. She has always been here. Kate McCannon, the woman out of time. She has lived many lives. An agent, a detective, a ghost who followed John Henry Jones through the years because she knew him from her future, his past. For the world she comes from existed long before you or I. And yet, it will endure long after we are gone. The place she calls home is known only as the Foundation, a forgotten clandestine bureau of an old government that fell 3 centuries before Detective John Henry Jones awoke in the past's future.